first aid ready isn't just about having the right kit in the right place. Of course, you need your staff to be trained. But a question we get a lot is, how many staff do I need to train? In this video, we'll look at what the Code of Practice says. So section 3.5 of the First Aid Code of Practice sets out some minimum ratios that you'll need. It says that there should be one first aider for every 50 staff in a low-risk workplace, 1 in 25 for high-risk workplaces, and 1 in 10 for high-risk remote workplaces. Often though, you'll need to train more staff than just these minimum amounts. Why is that? Well, here's 3 things to consider. First, you need to consider your work arrangements. Say you have multiple shifts at your workplace, you'll need to ensure that that minimum ratio is maintained for each shift. What if one of your first aiders calls in sick? Do you have a backup first aider so that you can ensure first aid's available at all times? Or what if you work at a farm and for a number of months of the year, a large amount of seasonal workers come in? Can you maintain the ratio during that? Well, we can see why some businesses need more than just that minimum ratio. Another thing to consider is, do members of the public come on site? Just imagine that you own a hotel with a bar and bistro. You might only need 1 or 2 first aiders to meet that minimum ratio. But imagine a rowdy Friday or Saturday night when many members of the public are there. Well, to be able to offer them assistance if they need it, you might need to train more staff. Another thing to consider too is what your workers do. If groups of them go out onto different work sites or they work alone, do they have the first aid knowledge and access to emergency services to actually help them out in an emergency? In this case, many businesses choose to get more than just that minimum number trained. Let's consider an example of how you might determine how many staff you need to train. Emma is a project manager and her construction project is high risk. So she needs to make sure 1 in 25 workers are first aiders. She has 25 staff on the project, so she knows she needs to designate 1. But that's just not enough. Why? Emma's project has 3 different shift rotations, so she'll need to train 3 first aiders, 1 for each shift. Here's a problem though. What if one of the first aiders for each shift is sick or goes on holidays? What if one of these first aiders are injured? Who will provide first aid? Emma realizes she'll need a backup for each shift, so she gets 6 people trained. Section 3.5 and Appendix D in the First Aid Code of Practice give more advice on figuring out how many first aiders you need. And of course, if you're looking for training, why not choose us at Accidental? Our courses are practical and engaging, and they'll help you to get confident and first aid ready.